Where do you get your potassium and sodium? All natural foods are high in potassium, low in sodium. Isn't that amazing? Lentils are 900 part potassium, 1 part sodium. I hadn't eaten lentils until we started this journey. They're 29% protein and 71% carbohydrate and no fat. A baked potato is 600 to 4, an avocado is 785 to 4. All natural foods were created and put together to feed this body, feed the cells correctly so you can produce electrical energy for that to function. And so if you eat a natural plant-based diet, and I tell people I'm not a vegetarian, I eat a whole food plant-based diet. And what I'd highly recommend, this book, it came out in January. It's Colin Campbell and the China Study. Dr. Campbell is at Cornell University and right out of, he majored in animal protein. And out of college, the National Health Institute gave him a large grant to improve animal protein for human consumption. And what he found out, he's had all the peer review. This is scientifically proven. This is not just somebody's guesswork. What he found out is that I can turn on cancer tumors with animal protein. I can turn it back off with plant protein. I can turn it on and well with animal protein. He said, I lost a lot of friends when I first presented this information. He said every disease is basically from animal protein, from high cholesterol to all of these things. He said, when I took this to a publisher, she said, no one is going to buy this book. You have the same cure for everything. He said, I don't He said, I don't care if nobody buys a book. I want to tell the truth. Isn't that nice if somebody comes out and is passed the peer review? He is now a vegetarian. He doesn't call himself a vegetarian. He says, I eat a whole food, plant-based diet. And he teaches a class at Cornell in vegetarian lifestyle. And as I said, I don't care how you eat. I don't care what you eat. But all I'm obligated to do is tell you the truth the way I found it. Then you have to make a decision which way you want to go with your life. But I would recommend this book. If you go to junk, fast processed food, there's no vitamins and minerals. It's high sodium. They've overcooked the protein, and you can't break it back down. And that's one of the problems in our society today. In 1960, Lois had 3 children, and after a lady has a baby, she loses the placenta, which is the reservoir of vitamins and minerals. And if you don't re-nourish and replenish the soil, it's just like the farmland. If you don't put the right nutrients in, then women start losing their health. Some women lose their health after the first child, some lose it after the 3rd or 4th child, some never lose it because they eat right. Well, after those 3 children and Lois started birth control pills, we were both working. We'd come home, we'd have a hamburger patty, and we'd open a can of peas and can of corn and thought we were eating well. Well, her health continued to go downhill. We never associated her health with food. It had to be something else, like 99% of Americans, that something else is causing that. And so what we found out that a can of peas or a can of corn is about 400 parts sodium and 0 potassium. They've cooked the potassium out. We were getting no potassium with that meal. And we ate that way for years, and we continued to eat the junk food. And so we've eliminated all canned foods except tomatoes. We cannot get fresh tomatoes a year round. It does have some sodium, but that's basically all the sodium we get. Frozen TV dinners roughly are 2,000 parts sodium, 0 potassium. And you've got to have a balance of potassium and sodium to convert that energy and recharge your batteries. The other night on television, they have a new book out, Change Your Lifestyle. It's okay to eat meat, but be sure you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. The other night on ABC, it said they have found out that if people that eat meat twice a day increase their chance for colon cancer 37%. They recommend eat fish every other day. And so, but that's a choice that people have to make. It's an addiction. It's hard to get away from the habits and the way we have been living. And so we went to a plant-based diet. Your primary source of food should be the plant. From the plant, you need 5 things. You need vitamins, minerals, fatty acids, carbohydrates, and amino acids. And these all should come from the plant. We do not take vitamins and minerals from a bottle. We get ours from the plant. I took vitamins and minerals from the bottle until I started this study, and I pushed all of our vitamins and minerals back. I kept them for 6 months, and I told Lois after we'd eaten this for 6 months, I said, I'm going to throw the vitamins and minerals away. And she said, well, let's give them somebody. And I said, who don't you like? And you'll find in Dr. Colin Campbell's book, he said your fruits, your vitamins and minerals should come from the plant. Minerals are rocks, and they have to go through the root of a plant and become a salt before the body can utilize them. They have to be worked on by the bacteria in the soil. A new book that came out on the messages in water, they do a lot of research in Sweden on water, and they said mineral water causes hardening of the arteries. Your minerals should come from the plant. Only God can take the inorganic and make it organic by going through the root of a plant. It's become covalent bonding instead of ionic bonding. When man puts things together, it's ionic bonding and it sticks together like a magnet, and your body can't separate it. So the plant is the secret. Amino acids, I can almost guarantee you that if you go on a high protein diet, you'll lose weight. Your brain's only fed by carbohydrate. After one day, your body goes into starvation mode, and the brain will send a signal down to the liver and say, hey man, I need a fix. I'm not getting any food. And they say, no problem. We'll break down muscle. We'll convert it to carbohydrate. And the waste product is nitrogen, which is ammonia, which is very toxic to the brain. It has to be converted to urea nitrogen. And it causes the blood to become too acid. And so the body will lose water weight on a high protein diet, but you pull the minerals. So it's a catch-22. You'll eventually you lose muscle and you lose minerals when you go on a high protein diet. And after, you'll lose weight for a while because of that process. But in 4 or 5 years, it'll all come back and you'll weigh more than when you started before because of the imbalance. Balance is the key. Harmony is the key. Our body, I feel, is in balance. It's in harmony. I can still carry my bag. I can walk 18 holes of golf. I can go home and lift weights. I have no problem at 75 years old. And no one else should have at 75 years old if you're willing to make some changes so your body will function properly the way it should function. Your brain is only fed by carbohydrate, and all your energy when you lift weight comes from carbohydrate. It's stored as glycogen. The marathon runners have a tremendous amount of glycogen they can burn because they know how to eat and how to work out. You need 2 essential fatty acids, omega-3s and omega-6s. And so that's what should come from the plant, and that's what your body needs. Now with this, you need oxygen. We live in an ocean. What happens if you take us out of our ocean of oxygen? We flop and die like a fish. Do you ever think about that? You've got to have oxygen, but you only need, the air is only about 20% oxygen. You don't need a lot of it. It produces more free radicals, but you need to breathe deep every day, and you need water. You can only live about 10 days without water. You can live about 2 or 3 minutes without oxygen. It'd be brain dead. So you need those 2 along with these 5 things to rebuild that cell. The other way the body should function is you need to change and balance the pH of your body. It's very important. I've read many books that said if your tissue is alkaline, you'll never have a disease. Never's a big word. It just keeps wrapping around and around the earth. If you have a swimming pool and you don't balance the pH, algae grows on top. If you're a farmer and you don't balance the pH, the crop doesn't grow. In fact, my lawn care man the other day said if you don't remove those acorns out of your front lawn, it'll make it too acid and you're going to lose your grass. So I guess I'm going to have to buy some grass seed because I haven't removed the acorns yet. Your blood pH, arterial, should be 7.4. The blood is the life of the flesh. Arterial is venous is 7.365. The blood is the life of the flesh. The body will do anything to maintain the integrity of the blood. If your blood becomes acid, it'll drop into your kidneys, and the kidneys won't release it because it'll burn the urethra, so it'll pull calcium from the blood to balance the buffer, the acid, so the body will release it. You need 10-part calcium in your blood to 4-part phosphorus to function properly. That's one of the first things doctors check when you take a blood test. If you lose calcium to balance the acid, then the parathyroid will monitor that daily and say, well, we need more calcium. Let's take it from the bones. They can live with compromised bones, but you cannot live with compromised blood. So you rob one part of the body to take care of another body when you create an imbalance. The foods on the top of that list leave an alkaline ash. The foods on the bottom of the list leave an acid ash. The meats are too acid. They're too high in phosphorus and sulfur. Every time you produce energy, lactic acid can be broken down with oxygen. It'll break it down into water and carbon dioxide. But phosphoric acid and sulfuric acid has to be buffered with calcium or sodium or something else in the body, and it'll pull from the body if your body becomes too acid. It also causes stress. So you need to eat natural foods, stay away from the junk food, and well, I just tell people, I say, well, eat more junk food. We're running short of Social Security money. Maybe it'd be more for us healthy old people. And balance the pH of the body. And in Sunrider,